Join me right now on Kumite TV is what many consider, or who many consider, the best flyweight in Australia. Shannon Ross. What's going on, Shannon?
What's up, man? How are ya?
Good, good. Let's go back to your last appearance in the cage, ACB 88 in Brisbane. You defeated a Hex flyweight champion, Tough 27 cast member Charlie Alaniz. What did you prove by getting that dominant win over him?
Oh, I think I just proved my spot in Australia as the number one flyweight. Charlie, like you said, Charlie's the Hex champ. He's also was the XFC champ. I'm the Nitro champ. So yeah, beating him sort of, I don't know, if you throw all the belts in the pile, I just walked out with three of them. So I'm the number one champ. And now we get to move on to this next fight. I think a lot of Australian promoters and stuff counted me out of that fighter, so it was good to go in there and sort of. I took the fight to Charlie and I stood right in the middle and I pushed forward and he come at me and yeah, we settled it like two fighters and I think it was definitely the fight of the night. Definitely from the fans' perspective and everyone else that was there that seen it. So yeah, it was just a good hard fight and Charlie's an awesome dude as well. So it was good to get that one in the win column.
With that type of performance, you are, no doubt a top 10 flyweight for the promotion. What is the current status with you with ACB or ACA now, since you have a multi-fight deal with them?
Yeah, so straight after I beat Charlie, I sort of pushed out and said, like, if they want to bring the champ down to Australia, I'll fight. That's two fights in Australia that I've done for ACB. I said straight away, I'll have another one here and they can bring Azkar out and he can defend the belt. I'll happily fight for the belt out here. Or we can do it in Russia, or I'll just fight whoever they give me next. Looking at the rankings, they didn't really move me into a top 10 position, which would have been nice to solidify that. Two fights, two wins, KO'd a black belt in one round, and then beat a Ultimate Fighter guy, Charlie Alaniz, in three with a dominant performance. So would have been good to go into those number 10 rankings or even lower. But yeah, now we're just waiting for a fight. I got offered something in January, but it was just a little bit short notice. So we'll look to maybe May or June if they come back with something soon. So yeah, that's where I'm at with ACA at the moment. So everything's good. Two or three more fights left on my contract. So yeah, as soon as they're ready and give me a camp, I'll be ready to fight for them.
Yeah, it's a wonderful thing, man. You have a contract with ACA. Most guys don't have any contract. They're just fighting one fight at a time, single fight contracts, which is kind of a shitty deal for a lot of guys. But now, you wanted to be active. Most fighters want to stay active, but 2018, you only fought once. Was it kind of a disappointing year for yourself?
Yeah, 100%. That's why this year I'm going to try to get real active. 2018 was hard. We fought December of 17, and then I wanted to turn around quickly, maybe March or June, but I couldn't get anything. I think a title fight on Nitro at bantamweight with Chris Morris fell through. So then we pushed on to June with Charlie at ACB 88. We did that one, and then I kept trying to get another fight with ACB, but I just couldn't get anything. They sort of had a bit of a break, and some shows broke down, and they had their own things going on. So that's why we're back. That's why I've jumped back on the local scene at the moment with Eternal, just to get some more fights and try to get active and get a bit of a streak going into this year.
ACB 88, that was last June. Have you been continually training, or did you have some bumps and bruises you had to take care of? What was going on in that time?
No, not at all. I've trained the whole way through. I've always trained when I don't have fights. It's just how I am and who I am. I sort of, training is my escape from life and the mundane things we do with work and stuff. So that couple of hours a day training is my escape and where I get to refresh and feel free. So yeah, I'm training and I'm growing, and come March I get to show all the new skills.
You have a family, you have to, you have little ones to take care of. Do you have
Yes,
a
sir.
job outside of fighting?
Yeah, man. I'm a mechanic. I work full time, 40 hours a week. So I've got that. Then on top of that, I've got my fight training, and then on top of that, I've got the family and the kids. I've got 2 girls and a boy, and I've got another little baby on the way. So, yeah, my life's crazy, man. I'm busy. I don't have many spare hours in the day, man. Trust me, I'm non-stop.
Yeah, man, that is a heavy load of work that you need to, get in every day. But, the
Yeah.
future is looking bright for you. You got an opportunity coming up, like you mentioned, at Eternal MMA. It's for the flyweight title. You're taking on Paul Loga. Thoughts on him as an opponent?
Paul's a legend. He's a good dude. I got to commentate him and watch him fight down in Adelaide on one of the Eternal shows last year. So, and I had a chat with him straight after the fight. Sort of told him some things where he could be working and some stuff to help him. And now the funny thing is, we get to trade off in March. So, he's tough. He'll come forward. He'll bring an exciting fight for the fans, and that's why I chose Paul, because I know he'll be there on the night. He's going to come. He's going to show up. I'm not going to put all this work in this hard camp, and then 2 weeks or a week out, the guy pulls out and disappears. So, yeah, I'm excited. Paul's good, man. It's going to be a cracking fight.
You said you always train. How far out do you kick up your training, like get into a training camp and focus on the fighter in front of you?
We changed it up probably 8 weeks out. We start looking 8 to 6 weeks out. We start looking more at the fighter and more at their tendencies and more sort of basing the fight around a particular person. So that's why where I'm at and the level I'm at, especially within the local scene, it's hard to take fights with just anyone and everyone because dudes disappear, they fall out, and it's a lot for me to risk. I'm number one, so I'm sort of risking all this, putting myself on the line. But I know Paul will be there, so it's good. I train full time, so I'm always getting to upgrade skills without upgrading or without taking any damage or damaging the body or being in a diet for long times in a long time. So I get to build the skills, and then when we get to 8 weeks out, we get to ramp it up and focus on the fighter.
What exactly do you ramp up when you're 6 weeks out? Is it the sparring? Is it the conditioning?
Pretty much for this one, we've changed a lot of conditioning and a lot of sprint work. So for this camp, it's all been regulated. It's all been monitored. It's all been really, really closely monitored. I've been working with Fight and Fit Physio with Dean from there and Jordan Sullivan from the Fight Dietitian. So I seen he was talking to you and he was telling you about the tests and stuff they've been running, and that's all on me. So all that stuff that those guys have been doing, that's all for me and on my training, and we get to use those tests and all the data to correlate the training and build into the next week or the next phase or the next session of training. So it's been really good doing that.
Well, I guess you're kind of like a science project, and most people don't want to be a science project, but in this case, it's something good. It's a beneficial science project.
Yeah, man. A lot of people were asked to do this, and a lot of people didn't put their hand up. I was the only one. I said, yeah, I'll do it for you. I said, I'll put the extra workload on. I'll work full time. I'll have a family. I'll train full time, and I'll do all this extra stuff for you guys. But I love living like that. I love living in the chaos and just everything is just go. So, and I get to see the data. I get to get the experience and all that stuff through the training and the data, so we can correlate and make me better. So it's good. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, I guess that's what separates you from everybody else, is that you do have a family, you have a job, you have training, but you're the only one that raised your hand. Because I'm pretty sure a lot of other fighters, they're single. All they do is train. They probably have enough time to do whatever they want to do. So it separates you.
Yeah, man. I think even from when I first started fighting nearly 10 years ago now, I've always worked full time. I've worked, I've trained hard, I've won, and I've done everything I've needed to do. But what I see from doing that is when I finish fighting, I'm already set up. I'm ready to go. I already own a house. I own a car. I own all my stuff. Life's ready. So I don't have this big this big pressure on my shoulders that I have to make it fighting, if that makes sense. Because my life outside is so good, I'm ready to roll up with whatever I want to do. I'm happy. So then fighting's easy. It's just a little bit of extra hard work.
You seem very excited for this fight coming up. What type of performance are you expecting out of yourself?
My best performance to date, I think. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to try to dissect Paul. If that doesn't work, I'm just going to take him into deep water and drown him like I can do with nearly every other opponent I've ever fought. So there's two game plans. There's adapt and overcome and outskill the opponent, or there's take him into deep water and just drag him until they can't handle anymore and just put him away.
All right, man. March 23rd, Eternal MMA 42, main event status. Flyweight title is on the line. Southport, Queensland, Australia. Shannon, thank you for your time, and good luck to you, sir.
Thanks very much, John. Cheers for the call.